Hello and welcome to another Cabinet Vision tutorial. My name is Tayla and today I'm going to be taking you through another design series question. We're going to be looking at part 2 of how to set up integrated fridges in Cabinet Vision. This design series is intended to take our years of experience in Cabinet Vision and give you the practical application that you need so that you can use Cabinet Vision no matter what you're designing. So for part 1 of the integrated fridge series, we looked at fridges that sit within a cabinet frame or a cabinet carcass. But now in part 2, we're going to be looking at fridges that just sit within an alcove and how we can most easily arrange a cabinet in Cabinet Vision to create the doors and panels that we need for the integrated unit. So for this example, I have found a fridge that we're going to use. It is a French door integrated fridge, and it does just sit within the alcove or an alcove in the kitchen. So again, as in the previous part, every fridge is different. So you need to look up the instruction manual and follow along with that as you are implementing the sizes so that it will fit your exact fridge. But the points that we're going to cover will be translatable across all these types of fridges. So while we have this instruction page up, you can see that this is giving us the size of the fridge itself and also the size of the custom joinery panels that we're going to apply to it. So what we want to take note of in particular to start with is going to be the size of the alcove or the size of the cavity that we need to have in our joinery for this fridge to slot into. So if I look across to the dimensions on the side, I can see that I have the overall height of the cavity here. I'm going to be using the metric system, so I'm going to need 2134 for the height. And I also have the overall width of the cavity is going to be 914. They do often add in extra dimensions for different things you might be setting up. So you can see here it's got the same overall width, but if you're doing 2 fridges side by side, in this instance, we're just going to be doing 1 fridge because I think that would be a lot more typical for most kitchens. So we have the cavity height and the cavity width, but we need to know the depth. So we've got C, which is the actual depth of they call it the chassis or basically the fridge itself. But we need to work out for the clearance or the inside depth. So if we look here, we've got 2 options for the depth. One for when the surfaces are located outside the cavity and one for when surfaces are located at the rear of the cavity. When we're talking about surfaces, we're talking about the plumbing. So for this example, we're going to go for the deeper or the bigger measurement, which is 650. I would usually choose the deeper measurement, particularly when it comes to depth, because often when you are setting up the cabinetry in the room, you may be having like nib walls or like little walls that come out at the end of your joinery run. And if those are not deep enough, that can be quite a problem when you come to actually getting it ready for the factory after the measure is taken. So always best to allow for more. That way you can tell the builder or the construction team from the get-go if you're going to need to have extra depth. And if that's a concern, you can then, talk about where we're going to place the services, all of that. So having that deeper allowance or like thinking allowing more rather than less from the get-go is going to save you some problems as you go along the process. So I'm going to use that deeper measurement of 650. So if I go across into Cabinet Vision, I have started to get this set up. So basically what I have drawn so far is 700 millimeter deep walls. Like I said, I'm planning to allow a little bit of extra depth rather than less. But my cabinets at the moment are that 650 deep. And basically I have a 914 cavity or alcove here between a couple of tall units. These could be pantries, they could be broom cupboards, could be an appliance cupboard, whatever they are. At the moment, we're just leaving them as simple pantry tall cupboards. So then the other thing was the height was 2134 that I need for the cavity for the fridge. So at the moment, these tall cabinets beside are 2600 high. So what I'm going to do is go into my room settings and go to cabinet and layout. I'm going to change that tall height to the 2134 that I need for the fridge. And then I'm going to work out the height of my upper by taking the 2600 overall existing height and taking off that 2134, which gives me 466. So I'm going to have the fridge unit or the fridge cavity, and then I'm going to have a cupboard above that. That's 466 high. So I'm going to hit OK on that. And now what I'm going to do is I could copy paste this tall cupboard and put it beside, or I can just bring in a new one. But since I have changed the height, I'll bring in a new one so that it comes in at the right height already. So just a tall cupboard with a pair door is fine. We're going to make all the edits that we need to, no matter what cupboard you bring in. So that's easy done. So we've got 914, 2134, and 650 deep. Now you might be thinking, Tayla, why have you brought in a cupboard? You were just telling me this doesn't sit within a cupboard. It actually is just the front panels that we need that are attached to the fridge, which slides into just an opening, an alcove. The reason that I bring a cabinet in is because it's much, much, much easier to set up the doors and the drawer paneling at the correct sizes by using the reveals and the way that it works when it is attached to a cabinet. But you have correctly assumed that I do not want basically all of the internal structure of this cabinet. I don't want the shelves, I don't want the casing, I don't want the top, the bottom, I don't want the back, any of it. So what I'm going to do first of all is double click on this unit. And now that I'm on the section view, I can go to this modifications bar and go to hide parts. I'm going to basically hide all of the parts except for the doors and drawer front and also the front of the toe. So notice that change there, but if I go to the 3D, you'll notice even more. Basically now there's nothing inside, it's just the doors and the kicker. And you can see too from the report, all those other parts have disappeared. So they won't show up on your cut list, they won't be part of your pricing, anything like that. They're completely hidden. It's just that we're using the cabinet as the base so that we can adjust the sizing a lot easier than if we were to do like 3 separate panels that are not connected to each other. Okay, so we can see here my kicker is 100 millimeters and then I have 2034 left in my height. So if I go back to my instruction manual, now I'm sort of looking at this diagram here, which is showing the custom panel sizes. So first of all, I want to look at is the kicker height. So which over here can be between 51 and 152 millimeters. So my 100 millimeters fits in there really nicely. And then I have the drawer front, which is H. So H, the minimum height of the drawer panel is 771. And then G above, minimum height of the door panels is 1254. So you'll notice that the toe height, we're given a range, and then for the drawer height and the door height, we are given a minimum amount. So I'm going to go back over to Cabinet Vision, and I'm going to start with the drawer panel height and see how that affects the doors, and then go from there. So if I come onto here, I'm still sectioning the face. I'm going to add a horizontal split, and I am going to make this drawer front a false front at 771 height. And then for this top section, these doors, I'm going to do a vertical split. And I am going to leave them as doors because it's going to make it easy for me to place the handles, but I am straight away going to delete the hinges, the hinging is happening actually within the fridge unit, the appliance itself. The panels are fixed straight to the unit. So the hinges that open the fridge door is what opens the door as like one piece. It's all attached. So I can delete those hinges on both of these. Not the pull, the hinge. Okay. So now you see from the 3D, we've got a panel for the toe, we've got a panel for the drawer, and 2 panels for the doors, and no hinges or drilling in there for those. But I do need to have a handle for the drawer front as well. So because it's a false front, what I'm going to do is double click, go to pulls, and I'm going to change the quantity to 1. If I leave it at the default placement, it's probably going to come up right in the middle of the unit. We'll hit OK and see. Yes, it did. So what we're going to do is, again, double click, go back to pulls. I'm going to change the reference to being, instead of being default, we're going to change it to be the top of the panel. And we're going to give it a vertical set down of 50 millimeters. Going to hit OK there. Beautiful. So that looks a lot better placement for those handles at the moment. So we've got 771, 1256.5. And if we go back, 771 is correct, and we needed minimum 1254. So we've got a couple extra millimeters there, which is absolutely fine. So then we also need to check the reveals. So that's going to be our minimal panel gap clearance, which is 3 millimeters. So I'm going to highlight that and then go back to cabinet vision, into properties and reveals. And I have a top reveal of 3, which is good. Bottom is 0, which is fine because that's against the kick or the toe. The left and the right, I'm going to make 3 millimeters and 3 millimeters. And the horizontal is the gap between the drawer and those door fronts. 3 is great. And vertical is the gap between the 2 doors. Vertical at 3 again is great. So I'm going to hit OK. And now I can have a look at the width. So my width of that drawer front panel is 908, and the width of these two are 452.5. So 908 and 452.5. So the width of my drawer, minimum 908, so that's great, and 52.5. So that is all looking really good. And the reason that that's come together so easily is because we set it up for the width of the cavity and the height of the cavity at the very start. So because we had those correct, now that we've split it into equal doors at the top and an equal drawer front at the bottom, it's all fitting really nicely within the measurements that we're supposed to have. So that is looking lovely. So we're going to just get out of there and get out of there. Now what I'm going to do is add that upper unit above. So I'm going to go to Objects, Upper, and just do a pair door. And I want there to be a bit of ventilation that can come up behind that upper. So it's only 450 deep. I'm going to outset it by 180. And you can see it's got a couple of shelves and it's got handles there. So if I go to Section and Interior, I'm going to get rid of the shelves because we need a bit of room inside. And if I go to the 3D, you can see that we've got quite large handles along this run of cupboards because they're all quite tall, big units, but they look a bit out of place on that upper cupboard there. So rather than having great big handles up the top there, we might want to have like maybe little knobs or a little push to open, just so that it looks a bit more balanced and aesthetically pleasing. So I'm just going to right click on that, go to Section, Properties, Hardware, and I'm just going to change it to no handles. And we'll probably use a push or a tip-on function there. And then what I also want to do is basically I want to have doors, like a double height or a double door for each of these tall units beside, so that it all lines up nice and neatly. So what I'm going to do is section it, click on the front, go horizontal split, and I want this top one to be 466. But I will take off 3 millimeters because I know that there's a reveal at the top that is 3 millimeters. So if I hit enter there and then I go properties again, actually I want to double click on this one because I don't want to change the bottom handle. I just want to change the top pull, and I'm just going to change that to quantity 0, and we can put a push open on that one. And same thing on this tool here. We're going to horizontally split, change that to pair doors, change the bottom half back to pair doors, and again make that the 463 high. And lastly, take off those handles just so it looks nice and neat. And I can see here too, just in terms of detailing it to get it really nice, that the fridge handles are a little lower than the tool handles beside. So what I'm going to do is double click on that door, go to pulls, and I'm just going to add the height difference onto both of those for the vertical. And now they're all nice and neatly lining up. Beautiful, beautiful. So now if I go to my 3D again, you can see now I have this beautiful line of joinery, and it looks like it's 3 cupboard units with all the interior that it would normally have. But this one, as we know, is actually just the door fronts. If I swing it around, you can see that there's absolutely nothing inside that, and that is going to be the fridge itself. It's going to slide into that opening and then have the panels applied to the front. So that is how you can set up an integrated fridge like this, whether it's a French door or a top and bottom door, anything like that. It's going to work very similarly. If you have any other questions, please put it in the comments. Or if you want to request a video tutorial on a specific scenario that you are facing and you'd like to see how we would set that up in Cabinet Vision, please let us know, drop it down below, and we'll be happy to make that video for you.